Welcome to QPAC at Home. My name is Paul Dellit and I'm a producer at QPAC, and I'm thrilled that you're joining us for this special presentation today. Coming up is one of Queensland's favourite performers, Jason Barry Smith. Jason is known for his performances with Opera Queensland, the Queensland Symphony Orchestra, and as a soloist with the Queensland Pops Orchestra. And he's going to be accompanied by Volker on piano. Please make welcome Jason Barry Smith.
Well, Luke and I would like to start with a beautiful love song from Franz Lehar's operetta, The Land of Smiles. It's called You Are My Heart's Delight. You are my heart's delight, and where you are, I long to be. You make my darkness bright, when like a star you shine on me. Shine then my whole life through, your light divine bids me hope anew, that dreams of mine may perchance come true, and I will hear you whisper, I love you. In night when dreams are calling, I seem to hear you calling, for you have cast a net around me, and neath a magic spell have bound me. Yours, yours alone. How wondrous fair is your beautiful hair, bright as the summer skies is the light in your eyes, soft as the turtle dove is the voice of my love. You are my heart's delight, and where you are, I long to be. You make my darkness bright, when like a star you shine on me. Shine then my whole life through, your light divine brings me hope anew, that dreams of mine may perchance come true, and I will hear you whisper, I love you. So this is one of those fabulous songs from Gilbert and Sullivan where it's a patter song, and this is one of the roles that I've never actually performed. I performed the role of the captain in HMS Pinafore, but not Sir Joseph Porter. When I was a lad, I served a term as office boy to an attorney's firm. I cleaned the windows and I swept the floor, and I polished up the handle of the big front door. I polished up that handle so carefully that now I am the ruler of the Queen's Navy.
Polished up that handle so carefully that now he is the ruler of the Queen's Navy.
As office boy, I made such a mark that they gave me the post of a junior clerk. I served the writs with a smile so bland, and I copied all the letters in a big round hand. I copied all the letters in a hand so free that now I am the ruler of the Queen's Navy.
Copied all the letters in a hand so free that now he is the ruler of the Queen's Navy.
In serving writs I made such a name that an articled clerk I soon became. I wore clean collars and a brand new suit for the pass examination at the Institute.
The pass examination at the Institute.
That pass examination did so well for me that now I am the ruler of the Queen's Navy.
That pass examination did so well for he that now he is the ruler of the Queen's Navy.
Of legal knowledge I acquired such a grip that they took me into the partnership. And that junior partnership, I ween, was the only ship that I ever had seen.
The only ship that he had ever seen.
But that kind of ship so suited me that now I am the ruler of the Queen's Navy.
But that kind of ship so suited he that now he is the ruler of the Queen's Navy.
Very true. I grew so rich that I was sent by a pocket borough into Parliament. I always voted at my party's call, and I never thought of thinking for myself at all.
He never thought of thinking for himself at all.
I thought so little. They rewarded me by making me the ruler of the Queen's Navy.
Thought so little they rewarded he by making him the ruler of the Queen's Navy.
So landsmen or whoever you may be, if you want to rise to the top of the tree, if your soul isn't fettered to an office stool, be careful to be guided by this golden rule.
Careful to be guided by this golden rule.
Stick close to your desks and never go to sea. And you all may be rulers of the Queen's Navy.
Stick close to your desks and never go to sea.
And you all may be rulers of the Queen's Navy. So now we're going to sing you a fabulous song by Cole Porter from one of his shows called 50 Million Frenchmen, and it's called The Song of the Oyster. Down by the sea lived a lonesome oyster, every day getting sadder and moister. He found his home life awfully wet, and longed to travel with the upper set. Poor little oyster. Fate was kind to that oyster, we know, when one day the chef from the Park Casino saw that oyster lying there and said, "I'll put you on my bill of fare." Lucky little oyster. See him on his silver platter, watching the queens of fashion chatter, hearing the wives of millionaires discuss their marriages and their love affairs. Thrilled little oyster. See that bivalve social climber, feeding the rich Mrs. Hoggenheimer. Think of his thoughts as he gaily glides down to the middle of her gilded insides. Proud little oyster. After lunch, Mrs. H complains and says to her hostess, "I got such pains. I came to town on my yacht today, but I think I'd better hurry back to Oyster Bay." Scared little oyster. Off they go through the troubled tide, the yacht rolling madly from side to side. They're tossed about till that poor young oyster finds that it's time that he quit his cloister. Up comes the oyster. Back once more where he started from, he murmured, "I haven't a single qualm, 'cause I've had a taste of society, and society had had a taste of me." Wise little oyster. The song that I wish that I had written, would be anything by George Gershwin, and probably his brother Ira as well. But particularly, I think, Summertime from Porgy and Bess. It's just such an extraordinarily evocative piece of music, and it can be used in so many different ways. Within the opera, musical itself, it tells us one story, but as soon as you take it out of the situation, it can be in any other type of situation. Classical singers, jazz singers, anyone can sing it and sound fabulous. I think the thing that I would like to see different, well, in the world really, after everything that's happening with this COVID-19, is that we understand more of what it is to be human beings. We're going to spend a lot of time by ourselves. We need to be asking ourselves the questions, lead an examined life. What is it that makes me happy? What is it that engages me? But then also look outside of it, see what's being put out onto social media, what's happening on YouTube, see what artists are doing. They're always a fantastic way of us being able to see into our society and see into our world, and realise how strong a connection we have to artists and how important they are to our lives. There are lots of people who inspire me as performers. One of the people who probably when I was youngest inspired me was a great German baritone called Dietrich Fischer-Dieskau. And then I discovered the extraordinary Australian performer Anthony Warlow, and he became a huge inspiration. But then the person who has always inspired me the most has been a wonderful jazz singer called Sarah Vaughan. And there are some amazing recordings of her singing pieces from the American Songbook. And whenever you hear her live, she never, ever does the same performance twice, but it's always related to the telling of the story. It doesn't matter what she does. And that for me is probably the greatest inspiration, is to always be free in the way that we tell our stories, but connect to the lyric first. The role that I would absolutely adore to play on stage is a role that I know that I never will. It's the role of Sir John Falstaff in Verdi's final opera, Falstaff. The reason I love it so much is because when I first heard it as a teenager, I was a really geeky teenager listening to operas at the age of 13, I was totally taken into this sound world, and all of the complexity of Shakespeare's characters comes through in Verdi's opera that sounds so youthful, but was written when the man was 84. I would love to play that role, but I am inspired by every singer who does. What's been the highlight of my career so far? I think that's a very difficult question to ask. I'm a person who goes from one moment to the next, and every moment that I get an opportunity to be with another human being is a highlight in my life. So every time I get the opportunity to perform with other human beings, and whether it be 2 other people, maybe even just one, as beautiful Luke today, or 100 other people, that's always a highlight. The roles that I played that have been highlights were Billy Budd for the Brisbane Festival back in 1993. The first time I sang Figaro for Opera Queensland, just at the end of the 90s. But there are just so many highlights, and I've been really blessed with the ability to keep going for a long time. So the longer you get, the more you forget were the highlights.